exactly new news that Hyundai has always given great value and incredible bang for your buck with their vehicles. But one car that I think a lot of people forget about in the lineup, ourselves included, is the Hyundai Venue. It's actually the most affordable vehicle in Hyundai's current lineup, and there's a lot going for it. It might even be a better buy than the Hyundai Elantra, which seems to be the fan favorite. So today's video is all about the 2025 Hyundai Venue in the preferred trim level. That's what we have here today. We're going to give you a full in-depth walkthrough, but Charlotte, this is a twist.
These videos, they're done completely live if you can't tell. So that means it's just us, it's the car, it's you guys watching live or after this video is already posted. And the best part about doing these live is if you have questions, you can actually go and utilize that live chat. And we do these videos every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you still have questions after you've already watched the walkthrough, don't worry. Post them as a comment down below and we'll do our very best to answer you guys. But before you do that, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the Hyundai channel, and leave a comment down below on if you forget about the Hyundai Venue sometimes, because I do.
A lot of people do forget about it, and that's okay, but we're here to remind you. Now, Charlotte, shall we get into it?
Let's go.
All right, we'll start off with the exterior, give a walkthrough, talk about the powertrain. But Charlotte, what's the price?
This vehicle is actually priced at $23,299 Canadian, and that's your MSRP. So it does not include fees and taxes.
And this isn't the entry trim level, right?
No, this is actually one up. So it gets more affordable than this, guys.
It's the middle trim. Now, each trim level of the preferred, or of the Venue, I should say, is going to share the same powertrain and general specs. So even if you're watching this, but you're shopping for the Essential or the Ultimate, you'll still get the same horsepower, torque, and even fuel efficiency. Let's start off with the front end though. So we have ours in a beautiful dark gray today. I think it complements the vehicle very nicely. You will get a nice solid black grille on both the Essential and Preferred trim levels with a beautiful traditional Hyundai emblem in chrome. Now the front bumper is going to be body color with a little bit more black down at the bottom. Now it's a fairly simple grille, but it doesn't look boring. It doesn't look like there was no thought put into the design. Speaking of the design of this vehicle, one of my favorite aspects about it is the fact that it is a smaller car. It's certainly a compact, but it has an SUV-like stance, so getting in and out of this vehicle is a breeze. If you're familiar with the Kia Soul, it was a super popular vehicle because it gave you the fuel efficiency of a car, but you could get in and out of your car no problem. And you get that added space in the back. I will pop the hood to talk about powertrain. Now this vehicle has a fairly different engine compared to the rest of our lineup. It's got a 1.6 liter non-turbocharged, so 1.6 liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine. This powertrain will provide you with 121 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque. Now those certainly aren't race car numbers, and you won't be winning any pink slips with this thing, but it's got...
That's illegal.
Yes, it's illegal anyway, you guys.
Don't do it.
Do not do that. We do not advocate for that. But what you will get is stellar fuel efficiency. So combined, this vehicle is rated at 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers, and the gas tank is only a 45-liter tank. So you're looking at around, in Ontario at least, probably 60 to 65 bucks to fill this up, or even less, or more, depending on where you live. But nonetheless, it's a fairly cheap to fill gas tank, a very, very efficient powertrain. And when it comes to highway speeds or even just city driving, it doesn't feel sluggish at all. I was actually telling Charlotte when we drove this back from our Hyundai store today that this thing's got some surprising pep. Maybe it's because I drive a 15-year-old vehicle, but it's fairly quick. So it's a fantastic drive. The handling is also great. It's not a big SUV, so it doesn't feel like you're lugging around a giant vehicle. Still turns sharp, easy to park, and incredible visibility. The best part is you also get that increased ride height because it is more of an SUV crossover than something like a compact sedan if you're shopping for the Elantra. All right, let's take a look at the headlamps. I realized I skipped that part. So we have traditional halogen bulbs. Now these, still incredible visibility. They're not going to be as bright as the LEDs that you will get on the Ultimate, but that's okay. Still plenty of visibility power. You also get intelligent high beam assist with this vehicle, so essentially you turn your high beams on with this automated function, and it will shut them off if it senses another vehicle approaching or enough sufficient light around you. So fairly smart lights indeed. These will also be cheaper to replace in the long run, and they do emit a little bit of heat, so when it comes to a snowy Canadian day, it will melt some of that snow and ice off the headlamps, giving you less scraping to do. But still, clean the snow off your car, you guys, please. Another thing this vehicle is going to give you is a drive mode select function. So Charlotte will actually show you the button that you press to change that. But essentially, it's just going to change the way the vehicle is operating. So if you put it into sport mode, it's going to not add horsepower, but it will feel a little bit more sensitive in its throttle. So it will give you that illusion of a more peppy ride. It will also sacrifice a bit of fuel efficiency. What makes this vehicle pretty special is the fact that it's front wheel drive, but you do have a traction mode called snow mode. So what does that mean in a front-wheel drive vehicle where it's not exactly distributing power to the rear axle? It's actually just an advancement of the traction control system that will incorporate a little bit of braking or power when needed to the front wheels to get you out of sticky situations. So just an advanced traction control really, but helpful nonetheless. Now the biggest thing with this vehicle is the fact that if you are driving in Canada and you are driving in snow, that will help you out. The ground clearance will help you out, but winter tires are the most important thing. On the topic of ground clearance though, this one's about 6.5 inches of ground clearance compared to the Elantra, which is what, about 5 or 4.5. So you already get that win over the Elantra from just the ground clearance itself. Your wheels are 15-inch alloys, nice design. If you get the lesser trim, it will be a steel wheel, which doesn't look as good, but still very nice over here.
And 15-inch wheels are cheap.
Yes, 15-inch wheels are very affordable. So if you are shopping for winter tires for this vehicle, 15-inch steel wheel will be super, super cheap. And then of course, finding a tire is gonna be a lot more affordable than shopping for a 17 or 18, right? Okay, surrounding your wheel arches, you have a little bit of black plastic, which looks good. Not a lot of cladding on this vehicle, which some people love, some people hate. It's just a nice, sleek look. Your mirror colors, your mirror is body colored. And you do have a turn signal indicator off to the side. Now, a function that you do get on this vehicle is blind spot detection. So that'll of course illuminate that icon in your mirror, whether there's a vehicle in your left or right blind spot. And then if you go to indicate a turn, it will beep inside the cabin to warn you that there's a vehicle in your blind spot. Now, on the topic of safety, there's also forward collision avoidance assist on this vehicle, or forward collision warning, I should say, with pedestrian detection as well too. So whether you're driving this vehicle in the city or on the highways, it will alert you if there's a risk of a collision, and you as a driver can react to that. There's also a lane keeping assist function too, which utilizes a camera. Sorry, Charlotte, do you want to show?
Yeah.
In the windshield. That camera is going to monitor what's happening in the lane ahead of you to make sure you're centered, and it will give you an audible alert and corrective feedback to keep you centered in your lane. Great function to have. Now, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the door handle. There's a lot more to this door handle than meets the eye because it's not a simple, oh.
I'm so sorry I sneezed, but I was trying not to sneeze.
Yeah, disclaimer, that was a sneeze, okay? I saw it happen. We do have our convenience entry over here. I like to call this keyless entry, but it is, but it's not. It's advanced. So as long as the key is somewhere on you, it could be in your pocket or in your bag, press this button over here, unlocks the door for you. Once you're done driving, press it again, locks it for you. You really never have to touch your key unless you really want to. And best part about your key, it's also push to start in this vehicle, and you get included remote start from the key fob. So warm up your vehicle, cool it down in the summer, all from the key. Up top, we get roof rails. The roof rails start on the preferred trim level. And then towards the back end, you'll see it's fairly simple like the front, but it still looks good. So we get our nice tail lamps, Venue badging across the rear end, and they are filled with white. So that's something that's a bit different. On camera, it might look like they're entirely chrome, but no, there's a little bit of white paint in there. A little accent. That also continues on the inside. Stay tuned. Now let me open this up. Oh, hello, there we go. Hydraulic lift. You can see we do have a bit of a cargo cover here. This is very easy to unclip, so if you're not a fan of it, if you want to put it underneath the floorboard, you certainly can. Speaking of the floorboard, completely flat over here. You'll notice we already have the right side of our rear seats folded down. You can see there's a slight incline to the seats, but for the most part, it's almost entirely flat. We'll open this up here, and we also have a compact spare tire. So let me just rant a little bit or talk a little bit. This vehicle, again, a huge winner compared to the Elantra. Elantra is still a great car, you guys. I love it. I love sedans. But this is arguably a more usable cargo space. And you can certainly use the sedan space, but it is going to be blocked off from the rest of the cabin. This is still included, of course, and arguably easier to get your stuff in and out of as well. It's also completely flat, so there's not going to be any groove to like drop things down. All right, let's close this up. I already mentioned the size of the fuel tank, but I'll mention it again. The gas door is just going to be on the driver's side, 45-liter tank, and it's rated at about 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers combined. If you want the highway specs, though, it's 6.9 liters per 100, which is fantastic. This vehicle is, again, only available as a front-wheel drive configuration and only available with a 1.6-liter gas engine. All right, Charlotte, should we take a look inside?
Let's take a look on the interior.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys can tell, but for a vehicle that often gets forgotten, Gabby and I are actually really excited about it.
Oh, I love this car.
I think that this vehicle, I honestly think that this vehicle rocks. I think it's awesome. And the inside, it's comfortable and it's got everything that you need. So I feel like this is honestly an incredible buy. I'm not even just saying that. Okay, Gabby, do you want to give a quick pan of the cabin? That way everyone can just orient themselves on what it's going to be looking like. And then we're going to go through everything in depth. So you can get a good look at your seats. They are going to be a manual seat with 6-way manual adjustment, but that is going to include your height adjustment too for your driver's seat, which is fantastic. And then I think it's time that we take a look at the driver's side door and we'll start going through more detail. Okay, so.
Funky inserts on the seats too.
Oh, for sure, I know. It's fun. It's a fun car. You can also get this in a two-tone paint, but we don't have that today. So for the driver's side door, we have some chrome door handles. We have 1 of 6 speakers in this vehicle as well. And then you'll also notice we have our mirror controls here, which are going to be electronically controlled. We have a 1 driver's window that is a 1-touch with obstacle detection, and then also regular automatic windows for everyone else in the vehicle. Bottle holder and extra storage, and then we're gonna have another speaker down here too. I already mentioned the seats a little bit. They are a cloth with that fun insert, as Gabby said. And I like that I can still adjust them, so I can bring them forward and backwards too. But the height adjustment I think is really great. So you can bring it down, bring it up. So it's gonna really help with your height and also the ease of entry. You guys probably noticed when I came in, and I know Gabby spoke about it too, but this vehicle is very easy to get into. It's not like you're dipping down or climbing up. It's very lateral. And depending on where you adjust your seat, it's gonna be more so for you as well. Dare I ask?
Cool Kev says, I know Grandpa Pat's hiding in his office right now and refuses to acknowledge the venue as a car.
I think he probably forgets about it. I guarantee that.
Yes.
On this side, we'll notice some vents, which you can, of course, configure and move them around to get the most comfortable airflow. You have your brightness adjuster and also your traction control. Steering wheel, something that you do get on this trim. It's leather wrapped and it's heated, and we have some contrast stitching on the inside, which I really like too, along with some chrome and traditional Hyundai badging too. On this side, I'll turn it straight actually, you'll notice that we have our media controls and then also our driving controls. So from here, virtual assistant, but I can also enable things like my cruise control, and I can use this notes icon to cycle through the 4.2-inch center screen. So you can see I'm pressing it down here. You can see which safety features are going to be enabled. You can see your multi-way trip computer as well, see how the vehicle responds to you as a driver. And from here, you can configure your driver's assistance features, so those safety features that Gabby mentioned on the exterior can actually go and be controlled on the interior, of course. Now, when it comes to some of the interior safety specs, this vehicle is equipped with 6 different airbags, and the NHTSA does rank it a 4-star in the event of a collision. So lots of great active safety features, but if you are worried about how it performs in a collision, it does well for a vehicle of this size. All right, do you want to come around, Gabby?
For sure.
Perfect.
One of the safety functions I failed to mention earlier is rear cross traffic collision avoidance. So if you are backing this vehicle out of a large parking or a busy parking spot, and there's 2 large vehicles beside you, it'll actually let you know if there's traffic coming from either side if you're unable to see, and give you an audible warning to make sure you don't get in a collision. Because a lot of collisions happen at low speeds in parking lots.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Coming out of driveways.
Or even just really close to home.
Yes, yeah.
All right, your seat, you have 4-way manual adjustment, right?
Yes, I do.
Funky insert, cloth, and heated. Both of these seats are heated, of course. And the benefit of cloth, in the winter, this heats up way faster than leather. It doesn't get as cold as leather because of the temperature, or as hot as leather because of the exterior temperature. So don't knock cloth seats until you try them. That's one of the reasons why I think the Venue is great. Okay, so look at the way that this is configured. This is great. This is fantastic. This is easy to use. We have lots of symmetry, which I find ages very well. So this to me looks great. Looks great, functions great. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. I realized I didn't finish speaking about what I have directly in front of me. So this is the only screen that moves here.
Sure.
You do have a digital speedometer and tachometer as well, and the color band here is going to change depending on what different drive mode you have. So currently this vehicle is set to Eco. As we move over, you'll notice we have 2 vents here. We have an 8-inch multimedia screen, which again, super easy to use. And if you press this, you actually are able to go and connect your phone to Bluetooth, but also to phone projection, which is going to be your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. The best part, 8-inch screen with this software means it's wireless. So you still have that wireless capabilities for your phone, which again, fantastic. One less cord to worry about, one less thing to worry about. And I really, really like how this is. Again, everything here is pretty straightforward. Your media, your phone, and then also your setup, which is going to be a little bit more general with, of course, more access going in through your instrument cluster. As we move down, fantastic mix of real buttons and dials, so super easy to use because everything does what it says. Fantastic. Real volume knob. Yeah. Real tune knob with more of that white accenting, as Gabby said.
Just kidding. It's a sticker.
It's a sticker. My nails are too long.
But this isn't a sticker.
There we go.
Actually, it might be.
No, that is a sticker, Gabby.
Oh.
you want me to get it off?
Well,
In that case. Sorry, I made a liar out of you.
halftime.
Yeah. Let's just finish PDIing this car real
I'll
quick.
talk about what I said to Charlotte driving this back. I said, this is great. It's got everything I need and nothing I don't need.
It's fantastic.
It's just straight up. Everything you need is all within your reach, and it's not overly complicated.
Nothing's hidden.
Yeah, you never have to fiddle through the screen to find something. It's either available with the touch of a button, finger.
A lot of the time, these buttons too can be dual purpose. That's not necessarily the case in this. It's very much like what you see is what you get, and you just automatically get it, and you're like, okay, I know how to use this. This is a car. It's not like an iPad on wheels. It's understandable.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Okay, hazards button in some nice glossy black here. We also have a push to start, so that does come on this trim as well, not key ignition. Push to start, which I really like. Manual controls for your climate control, so you do have air conditioning, heat. Adjust your fan direction with your recirculated air, fan speed, and then fan direction with your rear defrost as well. As we take a look downwards, you have a little convenient spot here for your phone, which is great if you do want to do any type of charging. You have a USB and a USB-C to do so. With this USB, if you also want to do a wired connection for your multimedia, you can with that one. It is capable of data transfer. You also have a 12 volts, so you've got the trifecta here for charging and power, basically.
Nobody's having a dead phone.
Nobody's having a dead phone.
We're leaving that in 2024.
Also, a little bit of a leather-wrapped gear shift, too, which does start on this trim with that leather-wrapped steering wheel. Regular gear shift, there is a sticker on that, too. Heated seats and heated steering wheel controls, and then here's going to be that drive mode select, which Gabby mentioned. So from here, I can turn it to eco, normal, and sport, and each of them are going to change up how the vehicle responds. Of course, sport being the most sporty response that you can get in a venue. Eco is designed to, of course, have the vehicle in the most fuel-efficient configuration, and then normal, it's not too much of bouncing around, where eco normal can do with the responsiveness of the gas pedal. It's more so going to be something that's more comfortable, more consistent, too. So use it, try them out, and see which one you like. Then if I press down on this, I'm actually able to go and access the different terrain modes. So snow, mud, and sand. And exactly like what Gabby's mentioned, is they're just going to change up some of the braking and the power supply to the front, depending on the sticky, snowy, muddy, or sandy situation that you get yourself into. Real handbrake, which is very nice. Pretty deep cup holders, I will say, and I'll also give you a look at our key fob. So it's not an egg shape, it's actually a super ergonomic shape, very flat.
That could be a selling function in its own.
I know, that is for us.
Who cares if it's got heated seats? It's got a regular key.
Yeah. You also have integrated remote start, which is fantastic with that push button start. So keep this vehicle nice and warm or nice and cool, depending on that time of the year outside. Center console does slide up, so that can be your armrest too. Nice and cozy. Slide it back too. Opens up, you have a decent amount of hidden storage space there as well. Your mirror, I will point out, if you flip this back, you are able to manually adjust it or have it dim, depending on what the daylight situation is like outside. You've got your lights, just regular bulb lighting, and then you have illuminated and mirrored visors. That's what they're called. Glove box review, upstairs and downstairs glove box.
Upstairs open glove box with a little bit of a lip, so if you put a phone or something in there and you hit the brakes hard, it's not going to fly out.
Wait, imagine this. Imagine you build a little garden in there.
Wait,
So cute.
does that add to my trade value?
Yes. Can't sustain life.
Don't quote us on that. If you guys go to Brantford Hyundai with your used venue
that has a garden,
you will not get more for your trade
little
with that.
rock garden.
But you'll get cool points in our books.
Yeah, well, we'll take a picture of it.
Under here, it's a glove box, regular sized. Very nice.
It's a glove box. All right, let's take a look at the second row.
Again, more affordable vehicles typically have really flimsy, horrible door handles. This is a nice, solid door handle.
I don't think that latched all the way. Oh, no, it did. Good. Okay. So this is our venue in the back seat. I'll be honest, there's not too much going on back here. For me, the big points are I like the fact that the inserts on the main seats match what we see on the front. Just some fun design details. I like the plastic on the back of the seats because that is good if you do have, any dirty feet or kids or something like that. Super easy to wipe. Another point out is the fact that because this is front wheel drive, the hump is significantly lower than we would see in something else that would be all wheel drive. So you get a little bit more on the vertical when it comes to legroom for those who may be sitting in the middle seat, which is something I like. So here's what your middle seat is going to look like. Good amount of headroom. You get the full advantage of the headroom when you are sitting in the back seat because this one does not have the sunroof. You have to go up a trim for that, so good amount. Yeah, decent amount of space for what this is. You definitely have a lot more back here than you would in something like the Hyundai Elantra, but less than you would in something like the Seltos or the Kona. So this is kind of between those two vehicles. You do have sets of lower latch anchors for car seats too, and also tethers on the rear.
So yeah, less rear passenger space, but arguably more versatility in terms of the trunk and just the configuration of the vehicle.
For sure.
Then, of course, depending on what your needs are, if you'd rather have a vehicle that's higher up and better driving position, then this will definitely suit your needs. But you should definitely test drive them both. Both vehicles are going to come with similar technology, but the Elantra will be a little bit more expensive between the two.
A little peppier too. It has higher displacement. Engine displacement, so you may feel a little bit more of a difference there when you are driving them side by side, but also the configuration of them is completely different.
Yes.
But it's interesting that vehicles that can be quite different are right beside each other in the vehicle and also in the price lineup.
Blair asked if you have goats on your sweater.
They are sheep. Everyone keeps saying this is a Christmas sweater. It's just, sheep are all year round, aren't they?
I think they sort of live all year round, yeah. It's not like a perennial.
They're not in season.
They're not, yeah, it's the sheep.
Oh, it's sheep season. It's like the mosquitoes are out. Oh, the sheep are out.
Yeah.
This is my Princess Diana sweater. I don't know. Guys.
Princess Diana. Did she wear that?
Yeah. Oh. Not this one exactly.
Oh. It's not cool.
I know you were really concerned.
Ew. Okay, definitely some interesting. Is there a story behind Charlotte's unpainted index finger?
Yeah, it fell off.
Not the finger. Just the just the paint.
Yeah, just the paint. So I am too cheap to go to a nail salon now. I do my nails myself. It just came off. I can't be bothered to actually redo it. So I'm just waiting for all of them to come off. Yeah.
I don't see a lot of car questions.
Nail cam.
But someone did say we'd be great realtors.
Thanks. I don't think you can hold a real estate license and an NOVIC license in Ontario.
I don't think I could ever be a realtor.
I don't think I could either.
All respect to the
me out.
realtors, but I couldn't do it.
Yes. Good for them. I love my realtor. They did a great job in getting my home.
Maybe one day I'll have a future realtor. I do not own
Gabby's looking for a realtor.
Zoran said, I'm late, start over. Okay, you guys.
Someone said this is the car channel.
It's no surprise that
funny.
the Hyundai.
No.
Paul said, sorry I missed a few shows, but I'm back. It's good to see you back, Paul.
It's very good to see you. And also thank you so much for the super chat. Yes. We are glad to have you back online. That is way more important to us. So it's fantastic to see you again.
Who is using the fan direction? I remember setting it once and never changed it. Oh, I frequently change it.
I change mine all the time. I'll go from like front to frost. I'll go to just the feet and the face.
Especially transitional seasons. In the fall, especially early fall, some days are just boiling hot. It's borderline summer. And then out of nowhere, it's super cold. So whether you want the defrost on the rear or back, it don't matter. But we change it every once in a while.
Masterborn said, is this SUV capable of towing? So no, it's not. You could put something like an accessory hitch on it. Actually, one feature I failed to mention, I'll show you guys right now, is the fact that it does have a rear view camera. So I will show you guys what that looks like. So we're gonna come around here. It does automatically come up as the vehicle is put into reverse, which is really nice. Oh my goodness.
Someone actually also commented on the fact that if you hold the unlock button, you can typically drop down either your front driver or front driver and passenger window. Now, I'm not exactly sure if the Venue does that, but we can check it out. We can try it.
Okay, so I was wrong. This one actually doesn't have the multiple viewpoints. The Elantra does though, which is, the same 8-inch screen. But there you go, there's your rear view camera. Still have dynamic guidelines, which is fantastic. So these will shift as the vehicle is turning to show you where it's going to end up, okay? Okay.
Okay. Shar, can you turn it off?
Yeah.
And grab the key?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm literally filming the mirror right now. Okay, what are you doing?
Just gonna see if the unlock button will bring down our window. So if this has it, if I press and hold unlock for a couple seconds, it should go down. But I don't think it does it.
Mythbusters.
Not on this. So I know for a fact all of our vehicles with a 10.25-inch display do it. So try it on your personal vehicle. Let us know. Right back to us if it does. But not this car. But I'll try it again.
Window cam.
But now is a great time to show you guys the marker lights on your mirrors. Check that out.
Slay.
So, turn signal indicator. Let me also tell you guys about an underrated feature that I no longer have, but really miss. So on these vehicles, just about any modern Kia and Hyundai, if you just give a slight press on the gear shift lever, it'll gear shift. Lane
Are
change.
you new here?
Lane change lever. Sorry, you guys. Too many levers. If you just give it, let's say I'm indicating a right, I can just give it a quick flick and it'll indicate for about 3 or 5. You can change it in the system. So it'll give you 3 or 5 flashes, depending on whichever you pick. And you don't actually have to turn the stock all the way up to indicate a full right or left turn if you're just changing lanes.
You don't have that anymore, do you?
No. I barely have turn signals.
You
yeah.
barely have traction.
Really nice thing. Speaking of traction, today is a pretty ugly day out. It's kind of rain snowy. The roads are picking up some stuff. We drove this about a 15 minute drive, and with all season tires, not even in snow mode, it's still great vehicle.
Someone said, do all new Hyundais have Blue Link? So not all of them. Like for example, this is a 2025. It's not equipped with Hyundai's Blue Link system. However, a lot of the ones that do have the newer software, things like that we see in the new Kona, and also some with this generation of software, but also higher up in the trim lineup, you do see Hyundai's Blue Link on them. My laptop is gonna die.
Why is the video quality so bad?
Great question.
Because our internet is bad.
So this is live streamed, and we don't have an interface to basically run it through for 1080p or even for 4K streaming. So we have to use the internet. We don't have fiber optic internet either.
I thought we got that.
Yeah.
It don't work.
Look where it's gotten us. So, however, all of our pre-recorded videos are shot in 4K. It's just the live streams that aren't, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 720p is not that bad. Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, you rock.
Oh, you're blocking the view of the car, Charlotte.
Oh, I'm sorry, I know.
We're so far apart.
Oh, I went out of frame.
Okay.
What if I go down? That's fine.
Guys, this is how we're doing our...
That's fine.
That fell.
Now you can see the whole car. We're not wrecking it.
Quick spec overview again.
Yep. 1.6 4-cylinder IVT transmission.
121 glorious horsepowers with 113 pound-feet.
This color is Ecotronic Gray, which is a fun name and also a newer color. We have 15-inch wheels. We have rear
cross-traffic collision avoidance.
assist.
We've got an IVT transmission.
I think I said that.
Oh, push to start.
Integrated drive modes with terrain modes, front-wheel drive configuration. We have a 4.2-inch instrument cluster. We have an 8-inch multimedia screen with the capacity for wireless Apple CarPlay. We have a rear view camera. We have heated seats on the interior, heated steering wheel, which starts on this trim. As well as starting on this trim, we have that sliding armrest, which is fun and funky. And this is a 5-seater.
I bought it for the sliding armrest.
I know.
I gotta be honest.
I knew you did.
All right. Okay. That's probably it for today's video.
All right. On that note, we're gonna go take a thumbnail now.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye, you guys. Make sure you leave a like and a comment if you learned something new, or if you got reminded that the venue exists.
Yeah, or if you're just
I expect a like and a comment from every single view on this video at this point.
All right. Bye, guys.